So, do you guys know any good teammates out there? You got any good teammates that you'd like do anything for, or that you think would do anything for you?
Max Verstappen comes to mind.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
he comes to mind.
Not to answer your question, but he certainly comes to mind.
Okay, fair enough.
That was the whole thing.
Yeah.
That was the whole thing. Do we want to talk? Do we even want to talk about that? I got it in our little
there's a little-
sheet, but
We can go a little bit about it. I mean, there's a lot that happened in the F1 world this weekend in Brazil. Brazil being one of my favorite tracks to watch a race at.
did you watch the
Um,
race?
So good.
Delivered. I watched most of it.
Okay,
Didn't watch the whole thing.
I didn't watch it, so
But Interlagos delivered. It was a good time. Kind of chaotic at the start.
Brazil tends to be that way, yeah.
I say kind of. I mean, it was kind of insane. It was like the safety car, and then there were more wrecks, and they were like, nah. And then there was another safety car, and then it's just, man. Some big stories though. Matt, you can chime in too if you have any input. But that Daniel Ricciardo incident was just another glaring example of why Daniel Ricciardo is not up to grade anymore with F1. I think, which is unfortunate.
Dude, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what happened to Ricardo.
Dude,
he's fallen off a cliff over the last few years.
And it's not been graceful.
No, it's like crazy to think about that. When he was at Red Bull, he was regularly beating Max Verstappen, and now Verstappen's a 2-time world champion. Ricardo looks like he's on the way out.
He's floundering and been floundering. But yeah, that was almost an amateur move. He rightfully, I think, got a penalty, and he also got collected in that crash as well, which was he didn't get away with it like he did at Mexico, I believe.
I also like that the medical crew just left Kevin Magnussen there.
Yeah, there was only one seat in the safety car, and then Kevin Magnussen was just chilling. No one remembered to get him.
It's literally like that meme. That's the scene from 2.5 Men where they're like, I feel like I forgot something. And they're like, oh, it's not that important if you forgot it. And then it just cuts to
Kevin
the son
Magnussen
standing there in the rain at soccer practice, except it's Kevin Magnussen.
Obviously, the big storylines were the teammate dynamics, both at Ferrari and Red Bull. I think the Ferrari one was more or less kind of brushed aside. Water under the bridge pretty quickly kind of thing, even though it was really petty for Leclerc to be begging for the spot. Trying to call another driver off the podium, that's pretty not a good look. And then the big one, the big debate, the one everyone's been talking about. Max Verstappen was told to give a place away to his teammate Sergio Perez. Checo did not get that spot. Checo Perez did not get that spot. There are some spicy radio transmissions between driver and team on both ends of that. Joe, what do you think? I'm sure you've put a lot of thought into Formula One this weekend.
Oh yeah, I put a lot of thought into it. Everything I know, I mean, Max Verstappen, he's a little whiny boy, isn't he?
Yeah, sometimes.
No, not sometimes. I mean, that's chicken. You know what?
No, but sometimes Max Verstappen does something that's like, it's funny. But then, like 98% of the time, Max Verstappen does something, I'm like, ew.
It's just, first off, he's locked up the Drivers' Championship like, what, 2 races ago?
Yep, exactly.
So, points don't really matter to him. Right? Like, I don't know what again, 6th place? 5th place?
Yeah. And it's funny because, like, even before you said that, I was thinking, like, man, he's like, that was like, we have like a Ty Gibbs-esque driver in F1. It'd be Max Verstappen. Like, just the attitude.
I think it's worse.
And then it could be argued.
Yeah.
I mean,
maybe.
To give Ty his credit, I mean, dude at least tried to own it. Like it's just.
Well,
I mean, it's just...
there was another diabolical news drop the day of like after the race, where it was like an exclusive on how apparently, like earlier in the season, Sergio Perez crashed on purpose in Monaco
Monaco.
qualifying.
I saw that today.
to freeze qualifying or whatever it was, and so like everyone's speculating that that's the big reason why he didn't let him through, and then like, oh, but what's the reason? Oh, but is it a good reason? Like, it has been a dramatic
Crashed
Formula
on
1
purpose.
weekend.
First
Well,
of all, the insinuation
can't-
that someone would crash on purpose is crazy.
I will say, I've seen the video.
No, I
It's
get
not
it.
the-
I get it.
It's not the first time that's even happened in Monaco qualifying because Schumacher did that 06.
So what would the reasoning be to keep Max off a pole?
When Schumacher did it, he had set the pole time and Alonso was on a flyer, and so Schumacher intentionally missed the second to last corner to bring out yellow flags and stop Alonso's lap.
It was the exact same thing. It was right. It was that turn right before the tunnel, and in the middle of the corner, you hear him rev the car up, and he spins out. Not really a totally normal mistake for a driver at Monaco.
Yeah,
fair enough. I raised you the point that again, it's super duper petty for 1 point, 1 position.
Oh,
when you've already
100%
like,
agreed.
Yeah.
I don't really think this should be the whole get out of jail free card for Max, right? Like,
yeah,
like that's a whole different can of worms.
Listen, it's Formula 1. 9 times out of 10, neither driver is coming out looking any more mature than they were before. So,
well, none of them are mature. They're a bunch of seriously, like think about it. They're a bunch of rich kids. Got to grow up racing, karting. Didn't probably.
And this isn't to detract away from Formula 1 because
No.
I do enjoy Formula 1. They are very talented race car drivers and they do a great job.
But they have had
let's be honest,
every advantage growing up to be where they are.
The other exciting part of Formula 1 is their status. They've had every advantage. They're all prima donnas.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it fun. But
I don't know
anyway.
if it makes it fun, but
it wasn't a really good week it was a very good week for teammate drama because you had obviously both those. You had Stroll running Vettel into the grass on the front stretch in the sprint race.
And then oh my god.
Yeah, and then Fernando Alonso straight up saying he can't wait to not be Ocon's teammate anymore.
Oh my god, I forgot about the sprint race stuff.
Poor Kevin Magnussen.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sucked. Kevin Magnussen
Haas had a
got that pole.
Yeah.
Out of the blue because of man,
Also, I know people don't really care for him, but congrats, George Russell. He finally got that win. So
he's
why don't
deserved a
people
win.
like him?
He's a little weird, but F1 drivers are weird. So.
I was gonna say I don't think they're all weird, aren't they?
I was gonna say it seems like the consistent thing is like, oh, it's never George Russell's fault, and I was like, it's never any F1 driver's fault. I've never seen an F1 driver be like, oh, my bad.
Yeah, some drivers are more vocal about it, and those are the ones that get that kind of treatment. George Russell is a young driver, and he kind of says some outlandish things every once in a while. He doesn't say outlandish things, but I think where he grew up, his accent sounds more posh as well. He just comes across very, very badly most of the time, but he's a very talented race car driver.
Yeah, I don't know,
and has deserved a win. So,
well, yeah. Should have won that one race where he was filling in for Lewis a few years ago, right? 2020.
Bahrain.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Bahrain. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All I'm saying is Max Verstappen's weird, and I don't understand. Like we talk. I've seen a lot of talk about IndyCar and like how they've failed to promote their sport, and I think about F1, and really the only way they really promote their sport is, well, we're F1, we're expensive, we're cool, like.
And then the whole Drive to Survive thing, that was a massive hit.
And I get that, but like when you've looked at reviews now, last couple seasons, as teams start to realize like, oh, we don't want to, stir up this drama and that type of stuff. Like my point being, like, F1 is a sport that very much relies on its gravitas,
its status.
Yeah, like it relies on that. It doesn't. You can have, how many races are there? 20 or something.
Ish, usually somewhere around there.
You can have 20 really boring races, but well, it's F1, so there's no pressure to do anything. And when drivers are stupid and idiots and don't want to talk to the media, like Red Bull a couple weeks ago, I'm just saying, all of it's a problem, and I don't, people are never, oh, how funny. I guess it helps when you're the sponsor owns the team or whatever. I don't know, but I don't like it. I don't like it. But I don't watch it very often.
I have different reasons for not watching F1 as often, but it is like it's you should absolutely give it a try if you haven't.
Yeah. I agree.
I mean, in general,
no,
to the
I know.
grand populace.
Yeah.
I imagine if anyone is listening to this, they are well versed in racing. You know, it's just how it is. But it is just a different world, Formula One, and like I'm not going to say there are seasons in the past that haven't been exciting, but like for me personally, like that I fell out of love with it, like, you know, after in the mid 2010s. It was really weird how that kind of happened. I still can't put my finger on what caused it, but
yeah, I've kind of been this. I think a lot of it came from the fact that because you got into it around like 2012, right?
Yeah, end of 2011.
Yeah, so 2011 and like 2010 to 2012 were like three of the craziest, most parody-filled years. So a lot of people, like especially myself, who got into it during that era, you're like, oh, this is awesome. And then the last few years has just been like, oh, this is how it's been for the vast majority of F1's existence.
Yeah.
Just like one or two teams running laps around everybody else.
Jimmy Johnson doesn't win the championship, and Davey immediately goes to a different form of motorsports. Just I'm putting the pieces together. I just find it funny.
You know.
Hey, everyone likes it when their team wins. That's Fake Racers Podcast. We didn't do this part, but I'm Joey. He's Davey. That's Matt. Can't thank you enough for watching, listening throughout the year. This is going to be our last episode for a little bit. Mainly because I'm tired. I think everyone's tired, and that's
guess
okay.
What?
Yeah.
It's been a long season, and we did a good-ass job all season.
Yeah, we only missed 1 week.
We've earned our break. We only missed 1 week.
Granted, it was like 2 weeks ago, but we only missed 1 week.
We've only missed 1 week in like a long-ass time.
Yeah.
Like, we've had some people miss out and stuff like that, but we've been able to get a show out for the most part, unless it was just when it was me and Joe, and one of us was deathly sick. That was like the only other times that we missed weeks. This is like we have done a really freaking good job. So you're welcome.
Yeah, we're gonna hand out grades for teams and maybe drivers tonight. We'll see how this goes. We're playing very loose and off the cuff by the rules, but again, cannot thank you folks enough for watching, listening all year. We hope you stick around through the off season. I know this is like the beginning of the show, and I'm not supposed to say these things, but we appreciate you so much. We appreciate all your support. Make sure you're following us on our social media at Fake Racers on Twitter, Jeto Network on Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, all that stuff. But yeah, let's get into it. We're just gonna go down the list like we did the first time this year. So if you want to go back and listen to that preseason grades episode, go for it. We'll tell you. We'll kind of give you what our preseason grades. So this is how I thought we could do. I'll talk about the team. I'll throw it to you guys. You say what your preseason grade is and what your postseason grade is. Does that sound good?
That sounds good to me.
All right. Just mind you, this has we have no money on this. We have no reason to lie to you. So when someone does lie to you, they suck. Let's start with the championship winning organization, Team Penske. Obviously, started off the year. Joey Logano won the Clash. Austin Cindric won the 500. Logano won again. Forget where.
Darlington.
Thank you.
Oh, yep.
Logano won Gateway. And maybe somewhere else in there.
I think that was it, actually.
He won Vegas. He won 4 races, including the last one.
Not, until the playoffs, I don't think he won another race.
So Joey Logano obviously takes home 2022 title. Austin Cindric gets to the round of 12, which I think was better than I think any of us thought he would have done. Yeah. Just because that Cup Series is a big thing to adapt to, and you can talk about all the circumstances that got him there. It doesn't matter. He got there in the end and had a shot on the last lap at the Roval to make it to the round of 8. And then Ryan Blaney makes it to the round of 8 despite not winning a race. Could have, should have, would have won a race a couple times. Won the All-Star race. And was 4th in points at the end of the regular season. So, 4th or 3rd. He might have been 3rd. But I don't know. I can start. I gave Team Penske a B+ to start the year. Boy, howdy, I was wrong. I really thought they would I really, really thought that they would not struggle, but they would, especially the 2 car, would miss having a driver like Keselowski in the car. I still don't think they weren't dominant by any means, but it's hard to say that they weren't 1B on the year. I don't think they were the best team all year, but in the end, they won the title, so I give them an A.
I think a lot of that is just because there wasn't a ton of consistency this year. Like, there was a lot of guys that had good years. So, I mean, when you look at it on paper, it's like they won 5 races, and it's, after the first race of the season, 2 of their drivers went winless. But, they were all very fast, it seemed like, every week. So, yeah. I don't know, it's kind of tricky.
What do you give them?
I feel like I have to give them an A because they won the title, but maybe like A-.
I'll give you can give them an A-.
Yeah.
It's the whole team. It's not just Joey Logano. I said, we'll do driver ones, maybe.
Which, ironically, I'd say Blaney was probably fastest week in, week out, and he's the only one who didn't win a race. So,
fair enough.
Yeah. That kind of brings me to what I was going to talk about. I gave them an A at the start of the season. I think I'm going to start off and say that I think they kept an A to the end of the season, because obviously they're the team that won the championship. 2 of their drivers went on deep playoff runs. Austin Cindric won the Daytona 500, made it past the first round of the playoffs. Strong showing, but the execution lacked. Ryan Blaney didn't win any races this season when he had the speed to win a few. Austin Cindric, rookie season, you can't really judge it, but he won the 500 and didn't get eliminated first round, like I said. That in itself is an achievement. That's something he should hold his head high about. Team Penske deserves the A that I gave them at the beginning of the season, in my opinion.
All right, so this is where I'm going to ask you guys for your input. Do you want to do the drivers, or do you want to go through all the teams first?
Let's do teams.
Okay, all right, fair enough. We'll see where we are time-wise. Next on the list, this one, let's go from the top towards a team that's kind of in the middle to the bottom, front row. Obviously, Michael McDowell had a career high in top 10s, I do believe, this year. Todd Gilliland had a couple impressive runs. Indianapolis and Watkins Glen up until the parts failure come to mind. Coming into the year, I gave them a C. I would probably leave them in a C.
That's kind of what I was thinking, yeah.
I mean,
McDowell had a very good, like you were saying, McDowell had a very good year. Todd Gilliland had some flashes, but yeah.
What'd you give them at the start of the year?
I gave them...
You gotta say that part. Come on.
C-.
There we go. So you give them a C.
Yeah, I'd say a C.
Okay.
Because I remember we were talking about that we kind of expected a regression. And instead, McDowell got better.
Yeah,
he didn't win a race and he didn't make the playoffs, but he had the best season of his career. So.
Yep, this is one where I'm going to have to eat my words a little bit. I gave him a D+. I really thought that regression was going to hurt. I thought Todd Gilliland would struggle, which he did at first, but he did bring it around and have really good runs at the end of the season for what that car is. And obviously, like you guys said, Michael McDowell had a career season. I gave him a D+. I think I got to go with the C. I'm going to go with a C-. I think there's still improvement to be had there. But they're a team that has proven to me, at least, that they can go out and find it. So, good for them.
Yeah.
A team that had a lot of stuff going on off the track throughout the year. Especially that heated up late in the middle of the summer out of nowhere. Rich Childress Racing obviously won 4 races on the year, 3 with Tyler Reddick, who's going to leave for 2311. Austin Dillon wins at Daytona after the rain falls down and takes out half the field. But Austin Dillon also and Tyler Reddick both had about average finishes in the 15 range throughout the season. One was more consistent than the other. The other had more problems throughout the year. RCR, I gave a B coming into the year. I would probably give them a B+.
Yeah, I was gonna go B+ as well. There was a lot of ups and downs at RCR. Tyler Reddick was a shining star. If RCR was just Tyler Reddick, they probably could have gotten into A- territory. Austin Dillon was consistent, did win at Daytona to get into the playoffs, but just didn't really show the speed that I think he's even had in years past. Usually he has a run of speed, a run of pace at some point in the season. Didn't really have that like Tyler Reddick had it at numerous points. He was unlucky to not go further in the playoffs, and they went ahead and signed Kyle Busch, which counts for something in the grades. So, yeah. I think overall, ups and downs combined, they improved a little more than I thought they would. I'll give them a B+.
Yeah, that was kind of like a cruel piece of irony is that like last year, Austin Dillon was borderline top 10 in points almost the entire year and was super unlucky to miss the playoffs. And then this year struggled for most of the regular season and then made the playoffs off of like a crazy win. So it's like,
think about that.
He has like two halves of a good season spread across 2 years. Yeah, I think you guys hit it right on with a B+. Tyler Reddick especially like became a star this year.
So. And you also had a B+ at the start of the year, and Davey had a B. Joe Gibbs Racing. We all gave Joe Gibbs Racing an A. That was our predictions for the year. There's a lot you can say about what happened at Joe Gibbs Racing this year. Obviously losing Kyle Busch. That might sting. Truex is coming back despite it. Probably coulda, shoulda, woulda been his last season if Kyle stays. Truex fails to win a race despite being top 5 in points in the regular season. Kyle Busch won the Bristol Dirt Race by virtue of Chase Briscoe and Tyler Reddick. Well, Chase Briscoe being dumb. And Denny Hamlin, I think, won 3 races, got cucumbered for one of them, and Christopher Bell made the final 4. So a very topsy-turvy season for Joe Gibbs Racing. Bell had 3 wins. Hamlin had 3 wins. Kyle Busch had the other win in weird fashion in that Bristol Dirt Race where it rained. But for Joe Gibbs Racing, is it bad if I rank them below RCR? Like, if I give them a B?
Because
I want to give them a B. I mean, I don't want to
do whatever you
fail
want.
them, but
yeah, because this one's tough. Because I mean,
Truex just didn't have speed. Like,
yeah, Truex was just kind of there. Kyle Busch led the series in incidents this year. Like, I felt like it was every other race he was spinning, but had a lot of speed. But got into a lot of trouble. And then Denny Hamlin was completely MIA for like the first third of the season, and then they finally hit their stride, which I mean was a story for a lot of teams, but. Yeah, like you're saying, like it's very unbalanced. Like Bell was really the only one who was consistent all year.
Yeah, and even then, like Bell was quiet, consistent. Like he wasn't loud about it. Like he went and got his wins when he needed them, and he executed at the right point in time in the season. But like for most of the season before that, he was just like decent. Like he wasn't making big runs at the front. Like it was very quietly consistent. Kyle Busch was streaky. Would be really fast, would be out to lunch. And then Denny Hamlin, kind of the same deal, but to a lesser extent on the positive side. Like he won those races and he had that one convincing win. Other than that, Denny Hamlin was nowhere to be seen most of the season.
Yeah. Yeah, they were struggling to crack the top 20 in points, like by Richmond, I think, when they got their first win.
And Truex not winning a race is, I mean, that's all you have to say about that. Pile on top of it all the mechanical failures. Man, I might have to go. I kind of agree with you. You're making a good point.
Yeah,
Joe.
I was kind of on board with. I was like, I don't know if B is accurate. And yeah, now that we've like discussed it, it's kind of you kind of talked to me.
I'm gonna go B+ for me, just because they made it to the Final Four. There's something to be said about making it to the Final Four, but yeah, not the year I don't think any of us expected from Joe Gibbs. Kind of now that we break it all down, a bit of a calamity, but. Yeah,
that's where we get to talk about the drivers individually, right? That's where you're going to see like a guy like Christopher Bell, right? A season for him. 3 wins, Final Four appearance. But like a guy like Kyle Busch, it feels like it's a C, it's a D. Truex, it feels like it's a C. It like Hamlin a B+. Like I don't know. Yeah. Call Like Ray saying this one we all had B- coming into the year. They had speed some weeks. Think about AJ at Coda, probably coulda, shoulda, woulda won the race, right? Yep. Too bad that doesn't matter. And honestly, 31, Justin Haley was out to lunch for the first half of the year, it felt like. Started picking it up in the last 10 races. Same with the 16 team. Once they had AJ in the car every week there at the end of the season, it felt like they were starting to get a lot of speed going.
Yeah, they both ended up kind of at the end of the season having playoff speed.
Yeah. But it's the whole season, right? You get graded on the whole season, so I would probably have to give him a C+.
That's kind of what I was leaning towards. Yeah, C+.
I'm gonna hold my B-.
Yeah,
you'll hold your B-.
I was gonna say
That's
I'd
fair.
put him, a notch ahead of front row. I think, but so I think C+ or B- range is pretty good. So,
well, which one is it? You have to pick one.
C+. Yeah.
Okay. Spire Motorsports C-, C for me. Dude, they get a D. I don't care. I don't even need to explain it. Like, that was awful.
D-. It would have been. I mean, and listen, all these are relative, right? Like, Joe Gibbs Racing is still an A-tier organization, but Spire talked big game. Corey LaJoie talked big game. The 7 car was terrible. The 77 car shouldn't have been on the racetrack. I mean, it was just not good.
But Landon Castle's a really good race car driver, Davey.
Landon Castle's a cool guy. That's all I'll say about that.
I feel bad because I feel like they were one of those teams that might have gotten sold on some of the false promises of the next gen car. But yeah.
Yeah, and Corey LaJoie still had his moments, but I mean, he second lowest full-time driver this season. I mean, he finished behind Kurt Busch on points.
If Corey LaJoie wins that Atlanta race, do we change our rating or?
Maybe it bumps him up to a C. Corey LaJoie might not even make the playoffs, even if he does win that Atlanta race. So it's hard, right?
That's a good point. That's a really good point.
Does that would make me think worse of the team if they win a race and they don't make the playoffs?
Yeah,
that's a good point.
So,
yeah,
they were definitely one of the more disappointing teams this year because we expected them to mix it up with the colleagues and the RPMs and the RFKs, and they kind of just got left in the dust. So.
Another team that I think was very disappointing this year, Stewart-Haas Racing. Coming into the year, I gave him a B-. Davey, you gave him a B+. Matt, you gave him a B. So we were all over the place here. Obviously, Chase Briscoe wins at Phoenix. Good for him. Was able to, Briscoe's season was weird, right?
Yeah, they were really fast for the first 6 races and then the last 6 races. And then kind of in between, completely MIA.
And even those last 6 races, they weren't quick. They just made adjustments throughout the race.
Yeah, and outside of Bristol and Charlotte, which they very well could have won, that was 2 great runs sprinkled into just kind of 6 months of soul searching for the 14 team.
Same with Harvick. Harvick kind of had the month there in August where he looked unbeatable, and then
got hot. They found something,
and then they just died in the playoffs. And then Eric Almirola was nowhere to be seen all year. Completely forgot exactly. And
he was
poor Cole Custer,
very good at finishing exactly 13th.
Yeah, and poor Cole Custer cannot catch a break. I guess
big rumors about him already this postseason as well.
And they had that month and a half stretch at the end of the summer where they were running good, running top 10 every race, and then something stupid would happen every single time.
Well, hell, when the fire got lit under his butt, all of a sudden he was running top 10 at Martinsville. It was what the hell? Yeah. And I think he qualified top 10 at Phoenix too. Had good speed at Phoenix, maybe? I don't remember. But for Stewart-Haas Racing, really thought last year was going to be the outlier. And it does not appear to be that case. Instead of B- coming into the year, I'd give him a C-, honestly. I don't care if you got 3 wins.
Yeah, that's tough.
You're a 4-car organization that's supposed to be at the top of the sport, and you get 3 wins, and 2 of your 4 drivers, I couldn't even tell you where they were running most weeks.
Right.
Outside of, they're probably running under 25th.
Man, yeah, that is tough.
Go ahead.
I'm trying to think. Were they worse than front row? Because I feel like front row is kind of the measuring stick for other teams. I feel like.
Okay, well, if the and this is where the expectations come in, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd give him a C then. I won't give him a C-. I'll give him a C.
Yeah, I got to give him a C as well. Because in the end, they did put 2 cars in the playoffs. But
and that's not to say that I expect them to get all 4 into the playoffs, but I expect them to at least compete.
Yeah, you'd at least expect. I mean, Almirola, I've given him a lot of crap, but like Eric Almirola is relatively a good race car driver.
Yeah, he's the Paul Menard line, right?
He's the bar.
He is the new Paul Menard. He is the measuring stick for other drivers. You expect him to be like 12th or 13th in points usually. But like him and Custer just kind of dragged the rest of the team down, unfortunately. So
I gotta go with C+. They won some races. Harvick had a really hot streak there at the end of this. Not the end of the season, but at the end of the regular season. Chase Briscoe had a deep playoff run, despite not showing speed. Like by sheer will alone, made it deep in the playoffs, and
just craftiness by that whole team. Yeah,
counts for something.
Rick Ware Racing. Matt and I gave him a D+. Yeah. I'm
right
there with you.
Give him a D-. I'm giving him a D- because when Joey Hand was in the car, they looked pretty good.
I will say Cody Ware had a couple moments where I was like, "Hey, he's not that bad."
Yeah, here's the problem. Those cars, I think, both finished bottom 3 in owners points, and I believe for one of them, it's the 3rd straight year. So,
yeah.
If someone else wants a charter, they're probably gonna get it.
Cody Ware almost won Daytona. I forgot about that.
If NASCAR follows through. And again, that's one of those cases I don't think it changes our perception on their year if they win a race, right?
No, yeah.
No. Especially if it was that Daytona race too.
Yeah, well. RFK Racing, Matt and I gave him a B+, or B- rather. Davey gave him a C+.
Plus.
Sorry, I was reading the RPM ones. I don't know. I guess I'd give him a C+. I thought the 6 would do better, but the 17 definitely did better than I thought my expectations were.
Yeah. They definitely improved as the year went on, but it was ugly for the first few months.
They won a race at a non-super speedway for the first time in God knows how long, probably since Carl was there.
2014, I think.
Yeah, so Carl.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I can give them a C+, but I can't, I feel like I can't, because they made improvements. Like, I think that's a huge improvement for that team, right?
Yeah. I'm going to stick with C+. I gave him a C+ last time. I'm going to give him a C+ again.
Yeah, I think that's
won a
what
race. Both the drivers found more speed as the season went on.
Swept the duels. Just saying.
Yeah, that was that. Hey, listen, if you ever want to know how your season's going to go, look at the duels.
Yep.
If you sweep the duels, you're going to suck ass for about 18 weeks.
Yeah.
You're going to get a 100-point penalty at Atlanta.
Ooh.
That one really derailed the 6, man.
And get DQ'd at Martinsville after top 5.
Yeah, that was rough.
Yeah, that was like Brad definitely picked it up, but the first half of the year he was a weapon on track. Brad,
it was not.
He was
good.
trying. He was really.
He was trying so hard.
Year.
Yeah, and I don't think he realized that the equipment was not, going to be under. I think it was a mixture of, the switch to Roush and also the next gen car.
Yeah, I think
it caught a lot of the veterans out.
I think the switch for a driver like Brad, I think it just, I feel like they thought they'd have things together a little bit more than what they actually did.
Yeah.
I think that team, we could talk about it being renamed, him buying in, but that team really felt a little bit more akin to a Trackhouse or a 2311 when they started last year, right? Maybe more so 2311 with how they bought Levine and kind of redid things that way. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but they definitely looked like, they were running where they expected to by the end of the year.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Yes, I think C+ is fair.
And Busher looks really good. I don't care. I think he outperformed the equipment a lot of weeks. Got a pole at Dover too. So don't forget that. But
I forgot it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Petty GMS. Ty Dillon was awful.
I was gonna say if we're going purely on drivers, it would be Eric Jones got an A, Ty Dillon got an F, so they average out at C.
Yep.
Which really pains me. But when the Southern 500, circumstance with Kyle Busch blowing up, whatever, but Eric drives a fantastic race. Most top, they posted a graphic today. That's the most top 10s a driver of the 43 has gotten in a season since Richard Petty drove the car.
Jesus.
So,
so good this year.
Fuel for thought.
Good Lord.
Probably could have won a couple other races too throughout the year. Auto Club comes to mind at the start if they maybe figure things out a little bit better.
They were really fast at Vegas too.
Talladega, yeah.
Yep.
Both the fall Daytona race, fall, summer, whatever you want to call it, Daytona race.
Second Atlanta race, they got a top 5.
Yeah. So, unfortunately though, I'm gonna give him a C+, because Ty Dillon did have some decent weeks. But yeah,
maybe F for Ty Dillon.
I can't give him
a
C.
little rude, but
they did better than passing, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because we all went C across the board. I'm gonna go B- for the race win at Darlington.
All right, well then I'm gonna go B- too. I just didn't want to be biased.
I'll do C+ then.
I think they were better than RFK. So
my reasoning is like for some of those teams that were really bad, a race win doesn't affect their season. But for Eric Jones, who ran really well, it was the culmination of finally. I keep saying this damn word. It's finally executing and winning a race. Despite he had all the speed. He had speed for most of the season. Maybe not race winning speed, but he finally put it together. That team put it together, and they got a really cool win at Darlington.
And that's kind of like a confirmation, like, yeah, we can do this. We are this good, and y'all better watch out next year.
Another thing about that team, obviously they're bringing in Noah to drive the 42, but Luke Lambert's also coming on to be the crew chief of the 42, which I think feels like it's gotten lost in the shuffle here. He was Noah's crew chief this year at JRM, and obviously has Cup experience. So I feel like that's a team that could be poised for like a B next year. Just saying. 2311. Obviously, Kurt Busch gets injured halfway through the year. I think that really derails any momentum they had. Bubba Wallace had a lot of speed in the late summer. Michigan comes to mind, winning the first pole for that team. Obviously, Kurt won at Kansas in the spring, and Bubba won it in the fall.
I totally forgot they swept Kansas.
Yeah. But you go back to inconsistencies. The 23 car was not consistent at all. Ever. Maybe towards the end of the year when they switched the number on the door, they got a little more consistent, but I don't know. This one I struggle with.
I feel like, they were very fast. Kurt Busch pre-injury was absolutely killing it. Like, Kurt Busch was a contender.
Yes.
That gets lost. Because everyone knows he won the race and he was quick, but like Kurt Busch was legitimately
he was
up there,
top 5 most weeks,
fighting for race wins on a pretty regular basis.
He was looking like the best Toyota for a little bit there.
Yeah. Bubba Wallace was also very good most of the season. Like, consistency problems, yes. Execution problems, yes. I know that team on pit road had some issues. It's hard to say because, like you said, the season got derailed when they had to start putting different drivers in the car. There was the Bubba incident where suddenly no one that was driving at 2311 was driving the cars. Like, it was just such a weird situation, such a weird deal.
Yeah,
but
Ty Gibbs half rookie year.
Yeah, and Daniel Hemrick decided he wanted to come in and
he'll take the car for a week. He'll take it for a
spin.
Can anybody here drive?
Yeah, literally. It was a rotating door, and it's just so hard to grade on that too.
Yeah, and like Kurt Busch had great speed, but they had problems finishing races too. They got caught up in a lot of late race incidents. Like, if you were to go by like first third of the season, absolute disaster class for 2311. Like, it was literally like, what can we do wrong this week? And not to say they didn't have speed. It was just like, things come to mind was, Circuit of the Americas was an absolute disaster for them. But then they hit the summer. Kurt wins his race. Bubba wins his race after the playoffs start, and then everything comes unraveled again with the suspension and Kurt's injury and everything. So it's really I'm struggling to figure out what I would grade them as.
I was kind of looking to you guys for guidance here. But I guess
they have a lot. They have a lot of pieces to pick up, but when they pick up the pieces, it's going to make a beautiful work of art.
Yeah, the potential's there. It's just consistency is still what they're looking for.
I gave them a B coming into the year. Probably give him a B minus.
Really? I gave him a B plus. I was gonna stick with it because
Really?
they were fast. They were faster than I thought they were gonna be.
I mean, I'll stick with the B. I'm like, but that's where I'm between. But I can't give him a B plus.
I can. So.
Well, you're gonna give him a B plus. That's fine. I'm gonna give him a B.
Yeah, I think I might go with a B as well. So.
Yeah, I win. Wood Brothers. Harrison Burton struggled all year up until maybe those last 5 races. I'm giving him a D. I was very disappointed.
A D.
Yeah, it went farther than rookie trying to get acquainted to the Cup car, in my opinion.
First half of the season, I would agree with you. Second half of the season, I wouldn't. I feel like the first half of the season was egregious.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think the first half was like an E effort, and the second half was maybe like a C. So that's where I'm getting to a D.
I'm gonna go D plus because I do believe in that race team, and I do believe in Harrison Burton.
I do too.
Yeah,
I do
they
too.
did awful this year.
I was gonna say I'd say D plus because I think they are obviously ahead of Spire, but I don't think they're on par with the front rows or what other C teams we have.
Hendrick Motorsports. You two both gave him an A plus coming into the year. I gave him an A minus. Chase Elliott obviously wins the most races in the league. Kyle Larson gets 3. Bowman wins at Vegas. Byron wins twice, and then goes to do absolutely nothing the rest of the year. Probably the same with Bowman. Larson was hit or miss. Chase was the only one that seemed consistently fast up until the last 5 races.
5 car was on one at the end of the season as well.
Yes. Yes.
Really weird year.
I'm going to stick with my A minus.
Yeah, I gave him an A plus. I'm gonna drop it down to an A minus. I think there were consistency issues with every car that wasn't the 9 car,
and even the 9 car at the end.
Yeah, I gotta go with an A minus because, like you were mentioning, it's a good thing that Byron and Bowman got their wins early because I mean they had speed, but they
weren't
what
winning.
we talked about.
Byron
could not finish races.
Byron had some stupid stat where like he didn't finish top 10 since like Martinsville to all the way to like August, sometime in August.
Yeah. Hang on, I got it pulled up. Right
so
he wins Martinsville, and then
maybe
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 races later, he gets another top 10 at Sonoma. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 races until the start of the playoffs. He gets his next top 10. So,
Jesus.
And were either of those top 5s?
No.
Yeah. So.
He got off to a lightning fast start and then just was completely missing in action.
He adapted quicker than everyone else, but he couldn't hold on to it because he's still William Byron.
Yeah.
JTG Doherty Racing, Ricky Stenhouse, he signed a contract extension. C minus. I don't know. When was Ricky up front? What I even like the Daytona 500.
He had a 4 race, so ran great at Daytona, top 10 at Auto Club, and then had a 4 race stretch, 2nd at Dover, 8th at Darlington, 8th at Kansas, 7th at Charlotte, and then just disappeared back into the midfield again.
C. I give him a C.
Whew. This is a doozy right here.
I don't think I can go higher than a C minus because they were another one of those teams I feel like that saw the next gen as like, this is our chance. And they just slipped even further into the 20s.
Yeah, you got me. C minus. I'll change it. I write my grades in pencil.
I thought they were pretty dreadful. Like, that was a bad season.
You gonna give them a D plus?
D plus.
I don't blame you for that either. I was thinking about it.
I mean, they were bad. I mean, really, were they that much better than Harrison Burton?
No.
Yeah, he literally 1 spot ahead of Harrison Burton in points.
Exactly.
Actually, no, he only finished 7 points ahead of Harrison Burton.
All right, I'm giving it a D plus. You got me.
Yeah, all right, switch me to a D plus. Yeah.
I'm so bad.
That's why I rate this stuff in pencil for a reason.
And it's like Ricky Stenhouse is signing a long-term extension with his team. Why?
Because it's the only team
oh my gosh,
that can pay for his wrecks.
There's not an Xfinity team that would let you drive for him?
Probably is.
They'd go broke.
God.
There probably is an Xfinity team that would let him drive, but again, you can't go back down to Xfinity and expect to get back to Cup, right?
No, man, it's nothing. It is nothing. I don't care. The Ricky Stenhouse wrecks a lot jokes. They're not jokes, all right? This has been a thing that Ricky Stenhouse has done since he was coming through the ranks with Roush.
Remember when Jack Roush had to take him out of the car?
Yeah, and guess what? When he drove for Tony Stewart, he did the same thing. Like before that, like when he was in the lower ranks and in dirt and stuff, he had to take him out of the car then too because he tore up a bunch of crap.
Yeah, unless your name is AJ Allmendinger, who ironically also had his career sucked into the JTG vacuum. Like you're probably not getting back up to Cup. So.
Oh God, yeah. How many guys have gotten back up to Cup? AJ, is that it?
I'm thinking of guys who didn't do it. Brian Vickers did it. But again, that didn't last for very long.
That one was more luck, I feel like, than anything, though.
Yeah. It was just kind of like MWR was like, can anybody drive the 55 next year? And Brian Vickers was like, I'll do it. Yeah, Allgaier hasn't done it yet. Probably won't unless the JRM team ever
goes up.
Happens. Sadler couldn't do it. I'm trying to think of who else. Yeah. I don't know. I just don't get what they're doing. It's just like you got like a bucket and you're paling water out of a boat that has a big ass hole in the middle of it. I don't know.
Trackhouse. I gave him a B-. You both gave him a C+. Boy, howdy, we were wrong.
Yeah. We got screwed on this one.
Ross
that is not
Chastain
fair.
Won 2 races. Has not won since Talladega in the spring, mind you, but holy crap. Second in regular season points. Second in playoffs. Daniel Suarez has a career year as well. Wins at Sonoma.
Year. Yeah.
Probably could have won a couple other times too, especially the road courses. The 99 was quick.
10th in points.
10th in points. Made the playoffs for the first time in his career, I think. Don't quote me on that one. Pretty sure that's correct.
Pretty sure, yeah. Yeah.
I give him an A.
I was going to say, yeah, I don't know if I can give him anything lower than an A. And part of it's expectations, but I mean, what team was more consistent through the middle of the year than Trackhouse?
None of them, that's who.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was kind of flirting with A-, but A is fair. A is correct.
And you guys remember this team, Live Fast.
Oh, jeez.
I'm giving it a D-. Oh. F? We could give Fs?
Dude, yes, we can. That team was a travesty.
Matt, you're giving them an F too because they sucked.
Yeah.
Sorry, BJ.
Yeah, he got a top 10 at Indy, so
yeah,
he's got that going for him.
Congrats.
So did I almost.
Harrison Burton got a top 3.
Yeah, Harrison Burton and Todd Gilliland finished top 5 in that race.
I won money off of that too. By the way,
Indy road course is a good place to be good if you're really bad.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's team grades. Let's do some driver grades here. I'm gonna rapid fire these. I got them in numerical order.
Ooh, I'm down for rapid fire. That sounds fun.
All right. You get 1 sentence. Matthew, you're gonna start each round. Ready?
Oh God.
I'll make you go first because you're Mr. Indecisive. All right.
That's a lot of pressure.
They're in numerical order. So here we go.
Okay.
Ross Chastain.
I'm gonna give him an A. Ross became a star this year. I know there were some problems along the way, but
Davey.
A+. Ross Chastain reached superstar status, won races, got to the Final Four, and almost won the championship.
Yeah.
And for all those reasons, I'm also giving him an A+ because no one saw that coming, and bada bing, bada boom.
Dude, if you would pause real quick, if you would have told me Ross Chastain was going to become like global viral sensation, I would have deleted the podcast from the internet. Like,
I just want to say too, earlier in the year, I said that Ross was my pick for the championship, and I was like, he's the only guy who's like consistently fast, and then here we are, and he was, right on Joey Logano's tail at the end.
Consistently fast. Austin Cindric, Matthew.
I'll give him a B.
Davey.
C+, won the 500, didn't do much else.
I'm giving him a B because making the round of 12 means something.
Sometimes being invisible as a rookie is a good thing. So,
Austin Dillon.
I'll give him a C+.
Davey.
B- was handily outrun by his teammate all season.
Give him a C+ for that exact reason, and Kevin Harvick.
Ooh.
I'll give him a B-. That
That
one's kind of tough, but yeah.
B-. Yeah, just a mediocre season from him.
When he was good, he was good. When he was bad, he was awful. B-.
Yes. Large gulf in the two, yeah.
Kyle Larson, Matthew.
I'm gonna say A-, a little bit of a step down from last year. That late season run definitely bumped him up. So
Davey.
A-, late season run did him wonders, but he was not great.
Yeah, if he cut out the playoffs, I'd put him like a high B.
Yeah, I'm giving him an A- because of all those reasons, and he was kind of Mr. Irrelevant a lot of the year. Brad Keselowski. For being season champion, defending champion, he was pretty irrelevant.
Yeah.
Kyle Larson. Brad Keselowski, Matthew.
Oh god, this one's really hard. I'm gonna give him a C just because he first half of the year would have been like a D-. So he really improved as the year went on though.
C-, but there's room to grow.
C-, but I'm looking for improvement next year.
Yeah.
Corey LaJoie.
D, and I'm not happy about it.
Davey.
C-, and I'm neutral.
It's really hard to with single car teams like LaJoie. It's hard to just separate the driver from the team.
That's a two-car team.
Yeah, I was like, well, whatever. The
77 R&D car.
77 doesn't count. And, I feel like Corey LaJoie did well this year, but it's like the sinking ship metaphor again.
That's why I gave him a C-, because I feel like he drove all right.
I'm giving him a D+. I'm gonna split the middle because don't talk a big game and don't follow, and you better follow up on it. Tyler Reddick.
I'm gonna give him an A-. Very good year. Little consistency problems at times, but yeah.
A, became a championship contender, and he probably should have made it further in the playoffs.
Yeah. I give him an A+ because he won 3 races with RCR, and despite 2 of those wins coming after he announced he's leaving. Chase Elliott.
I'll give him an A. It doesn't feel like an A because even in a year where he was the best driver on the circuit, still don't feel great about Chase Elliott after this year for some reason. So
B+ because he was weird. He drove really well, made it to the Final Four and all that. That's really cool, but he was just weird all year. I don't know. It rubbed me the wrong way.
There's just some vibes about Chase Elliott. I don't know what it is.
Especially this year.
He started being Kyle Busch all of a sudden.
He's gotten really grumpy.
Yeah.
I just don't care to rate him that highly.
Real quick. He said he wants to not think about racing for a while, and then he was doing the Nitro Rallycross this past weekend, which is racing. So I just put it out there.
Again, Rallycross is the moonshine of racing. It's just purely distilled to just cut out all the crap you don't need.
Also, it's incredible that a driver at the caliber of Chase Elliott, who had the season that he had, was somehow angry. A non-story all season and angry.
Yeah.
No one cared about Chase Elliott all season. He had the best season, but
he went
no
on
one cared.
what he did is he went on a string. I think he actually won 6 races, but he went on a tear there with 3 wins in 6 races or something. And then he just went back to doing nothing again.
Yeah, and for a long time, I never really got why people hated Chase Elliott because I was like, everybody says he has no personality, so how is there something hateable about him? But he was kind of a punk ass this year. Him just absolutely punting Tyler Reddick at Watkins Glen for no reason on the last lap. I was like, what the hell?
Because he was mad because Larson roughed him up a little bit too. That was the best part.
You know how all those podcasts have a blank of the week segment? We need a Matt Steelman specific segment that's punk ass of the week.
Punk ass of the week.
I love it.
It's gonna be hard to dethrone Ty Gibbs for a lot of those, but yeah.
I'm gonna write this down somewhere. We need punk ass of the week.
I need you to make up a graphic for it for next year. Okay. And we'll make it a TikTok special thing too.
Just
we'll put it on there.
Throwing Chase Elliott in a trash can.
I'll do you one better. I'll put it in the creators channel and then I'll
pin it.
I'll pin it.
All right. Oh, you got me. Anyways, Chase Elliott, I'm giving him an A because if you get more than 3 wins, I think you deserve an A no matter what. Eric Almirola, Matthew.
He is getting a C. He is the measuring stick for all other drivers. He is a pure neutral race car driver.
Davey.
Oh, Eric Almirola. Oh, wow. Yeah, C. I mean, what can you say about it? I
can't say anything. C. Denny Hamlin.
One of the drivers of this season.
Yeah. Matthew, Denny Hamlin.
This one's tough.
I'll give Denny Hamlin a... I wanted to say B+, but that doesn't feel right. I'll give him an A-. So definitely picked it up as the year went on, but yeah.
I got. Oh man, this is tough. I'll go B.
B?
I feel like he should have done. What did Denny Hamlin do?
No. I didn't think you'd go that low.
What did he do?
I won some races. I don't know.
Yeah, but he was also slow as hell in a lot of them.
Okay. Hey, it's fair. It's fair. I didn't expect you
to
to say.
Yeah, I was going to say over the last 15 or so races, they were top 5 every week, pretty much. But yeah, the first half they were not very good.
Out to lunch.
I'm giving him a B plus because again, you win. What did he win? 3 races or 2 races? I don't care.
I think he only won 2.
I think it's a B plus for me. Whatever. Made the round of 8. Ryan Blaney, $1 million richer. Matthew.
I don't know if I go with A minus or B plus, but it's frustrating. I'm gonna go B plus because I was disappointed by him. Very fast, win a goddamn race, Ryan. Sick of this. Oh my god.
Yeah, B plus for the same reasons. You got to win a race, bud.
It's so absurd.
I'm giving him an A minus because he made it to the round of 8 without winning a race. That's very impressive because that means he's consistent. Chase Briscoe.
I'm gonna give him a C plus as well.
Wow.
Great playoff run, but like we mentioned, missing in action for a lot of the season.
C plus. I gave Austin Cindric a C plus. He didn't run that much better than Austin Cindric.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I'm giving him a B minus because he won some races and SHR was not good. I have rotation of drivers in the 15 if you want to pick any out. But overall, I give this car a D. So
Joey Hand A plus.
Honestly, forgot the 15 car existed.
Everyone's giving him a D.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
except for Joey Hand. A plus.
Sacramento native. Represent.
Rotation of drivers in the 16. I feel like Daniel Hemrick gets like a C. Noah Gragson gets like a C. And then AJ gets like a B.
Yeah, I was gonna
give him a C plus.
I was gonna give him a C. They were just kind of invisible for a lot of the year.
All right, back to our scheduled programming. Chris Buescher. Matthew.
I'll go. This one's tough. I'll go C plus as well.
Okay, every one of these can't be. This one's tough.
Well, they're tough.
They are, dude.
They are hard.
We just had the weirdest season in NASCAR history.
Yeah.
Give it a rest. I'm gonna go. Ah, man, this one is tough. I'm gonna go C because he ran better than Brad, and Brad got a C minus. So.
I have to look at Brad. What I gave Brad, I gave him a C minus. I'm gonna give him a B minus because he won a race and he was top 15, top 20 most weeks.
Yeah, can't argue with that.
Kyle Busch.
I'm gonna give Kyle a B minus. It was not a great year for Kyle.
Oh, this one's tough.
I'm giving Kyle a C because holy crap, that year was awful, and I don't know if it was him or the car. I'd like to think it's the car, but I gotta give him a C based off of the results.
B minus, way too streaky.
Yeah, lots of speed, but halftime couldn't keep his car pointing in the right direction too.
Martin Truex Jr.
C. Didn't win a race. Didn't win a race and wasn't any faster than Kyle.
Yeah, I gotta give him a C. Yeah.
And I'm gonna give him a C too. Christopher Bell.
I'll give Bell an A minus. I think Bell was pretty good this year. So
A, won some races, was pretty clutch, made it to the final 4.
Yeah, same reasons as Davey. I'm giving him an A.
See, that's what's hard about this is like I want to save like A and A pluses for the really consistent guys, but there weren't any. There was like 2 guys that you could count on being really fast every week.
Next gen car doing its job.
Yeah.
For Wood Brothers, we gave them a D plus. You guys both gave them a D plus. I gave them a D, so I'm just going to stick with those grades for Harrison Burton. That's okay with you guys. Speak now for other old
We
GDs.
do not care about Harrison Burton.
Hopefully he has a better year next year. Can't have a sophomore slump if you weren't good in the first place in your freshman year, so.
Yeah.
That is insane.
Joey Logano, champion.
I feel like, yeah, I was gonna say I gotta give him an A plus. Even if it wasn't the most impressive championship season, he was just like somehow found himself in like 4th every week.
Yeah,
I mean, it was routine for him at that point to find himself at the front. So doing something right.
That last race was very impressive.
Just put on a clinic, yeah.
Bubba Wallace.
Let me look at what other grades I've given. I'll give Bubba I'll give him a B. I think he had more speed than Kevin Harvick and the other B minuses. But finishing races was a problem, not only for him but for his team. So
yeah, I'm gonna go B plus. He had a lot of speed. It was a commanding win he had, so B plus.
Giving him a B because again, consistency needs to matter, and they were not consistent for almost 3/4 of the year. William Byron.
Jeez.
I'm giving him a B as well for the same reasons.
Yeah, I gotta give him a B.
Equipment's better at Hendrick, right? Like,
yeah.
B minus.
After the start of the year they had, there is no reason they should have gone a 19 race span where they had a top 10. There's no reason for that.
All right, I have the 27 in here. If you want to give a grade for Loris Hesmans or Jacques Villeneuve, be my guest. No. All right, cool. Justin Haley.
Maybe Matt does. I don't.
A plus for Jacques Villeneuve.
Damn it. Oh my god.
Okay. I didn't want to spell Villeneuve. I didn't want to spell Jacques or Villeneuve wrong. Was it Jacques?
Jacques Villeneuve.
Oh, that's not how you spell that.
Yeah. Well, you don't have Nobody who's listening to this could see what's happening.
It's the part that makes it fun. Justin Haley.
I gave
the
C.
Yeah, I gave the 16 a C plus, so I gotta give Justin Haley a C.
Yeah.
C for Justin Haley.
Yeah. Michael McDowell.
I'll go just driver, I'll say B plus. So I think Michael he punched above his weight for a lot of the year. So
I'm sticking with B.
Yeah, I'm also sticking with a B. Todd Gilliland. Oh, sorry.
Ooh. No, you're good. I don't give a crap about Michael McDowell.
Only Jesus does.
Yeah. It's a big Jesus.
Maybe his family too, but
Todd Gilliland. C minus, I guess. I think that's part of, lower expectations for him to be right on par with Harrison Burton. We're like, damn, okay.
D plus, but there's a lot there. There's a lot there. He was decent at some points in the season.
Yeah, I'm giving him a C minus. Feel like he was okay. Could have been better. Yeah. Ty Dillon.
D.
D minus.
I'm also giving him a D minus. When you compare him to Eric, that's pretty.
Actually, yeah, put it to D minus.
It's pretty damning. And there is a reason
Joe can't type the minus sign.
I can't. I hit equals. Yeah, Ty Dillon. There's a reason he's gonna go drive the 77 full time next year.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
weird.
Sucks for him. Eric Jones.
I'm gonna give Eric Jones an A. I think Eric Jones killed it this year. So
yeah, A. Didn't really put too many feet wrong.
I'm giving him an A plus because I like him. So I'm gonna give him the plus.
He was one of the. If I was thinking of like potential lists of like my top 5 most surprising and like most disappointing drivers or whatever, Eric Jones would have been number 1 on that list if I made it.
More surprising than Ross.
Actually, okay. He would have been top 2, probably. Ross probably would have been number 1.
I would agree with you that Eric was more surprising than Ross, just because Ross had his entire team back with him from last year, and they were really good those last 10 races, which I think goes under the radar when we talk about the one team in Trackhouse, with the fact that is Chip Ganassi Racing. A lot of those people were Chip Ganassi Racing employees, especially on the one team, and
it would have been a toss-up between those two for sure. So.
Kurt Busch.
Ooh.
I'll go A minus for Kurt Busch just because they had great speed, but finishing races much like that put a damper on things, and just finishing races wasn't the 45 team's strength. So,
A minus. Gotta agree. He was just slightly better than Bubba. I gave Bubba a B plus as well, but
Yeah, I'm giving an A minus. I felt like they were a lot more consistent than Bubba, which isn't, again, saying a lot. But their speed, their high top end speed was a lot better too. So A minus. Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
just gonna give him a flat D. It was bad.
What do we give? Actually, I should just see. What do we give JTG? D plus, D plus, D plus is what we gave JTG. So, you want to give him a D?
Yeah,
that's cool. I agree.
I'm going D plus.
Cool. These weren't.
Joe, it's 3 letters. You didn't have to copy and paste it.
Yeah, I did. It's quicker.
I noticed that. I was like, you lazy. What the hell?
What? Lazy? No, never. Alex Bowman. Another concussion boy.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him a B plus. They had a recurring theme. A lot of speed, couldn't finish races. So
I'm gonna go with B.
I can't give him a better grade than William Byron, so I give him a B. Give him the same
I can.
grade.
He had top 10s during the summer.
It's very fair. It's very fair. Cody Ware. I give him a D. I don't care.
Yeah, I'll go D.
D plus. He almost cracked his coconut that one race. So
yeah, that was scary.
Nice.
The 77 sucked.
F.
All right, F for all those drivers. Sorry, guys.
77 was awful this year.
I mean, if anything, if we look at our grade for Ty Dillon, it'll be an improvement next year. Just
True.
saying.
Yeah. Surely it can't get worse, right?
Don't do that.
The 78
explode in a ball of fire.
And the final driver, Daniel Suarez.
Give him a B plus as well. Daniel had a breakout year, so
B plus, yeah. Can't rate him higher than Ross, but he had a very good season. Should have probably, no, I'm not gonna say should have, but very, very much could have won the Coke 600. Was the fastest car there in my opinion.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, B plus. That's
give him a B plus too. Look at that. We flew through those in like 15 minutes.
That's fun.
Yeah.
I gave my Chase Elliott grade is definitely crappy, but hey, what can I say?
Don't be crappy, right? Don't be weird.
Exactly. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did give him a B plus.
Be a normal guy.
It's fun to see the spread on these two,
Yeah.
Now we have to do a ranking system where we rank all of them, like we sort the sheet here, and then we make like a pie chart. That's it.
Yeah, we need more analytics.
We need more pie charts.
Yeah.
Need more pie charts.
Hey, well, good
While
job,
we were
guys.
talking about grading Trackhouse, I was on their website, on their store.
Mm-hmm. Anything good from the Fanatics store that's on Trackhouse?
Not really.
Yeah.
They have their little Drive Forward hoodie. And what sucks is their branding's cool. They could do a lot with it, but...
Yeah, I always have a gripe with them, again, using Fanatics and not actually making their own merch. A little frustrating.
Before we kind of move on to like sort of signing off for the season after we've done our grades now, there are some pictures that have been released of the next gen car, the Garage 56 next gen car.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
I think it's fun.
With the side mirrors and the dive planes on the front, man. That thing is awesome.
Oh yeah.
That thing is cool. It looks like Bozzy made some tweets about it. So he noticed the mirrors. He talked about the dive planes, and it looks like some possible changes with the rear bumper / diffuser, which is interesting.
Oh my gosh, this thing does look cool.
It's pretty cool. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. So now they actually have a Twitter account, NASCAR G56. Man, it's cool stuff. I'm excited for this.
Same, yeah. Yeah, because there was a rumor that this like fell apart like a month ago, and I'm glad it didn't. So
there was a rumor about that?
Yeah, I saw a couple of people saying that it fell apart.
That's really interesting. I didn't hear that at all. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just like one person I said who saw it, and I was like, "Yep, that's the truth." So
ooh, there's a top-down view of the new Aero. Wow, that is a lovely looking race car. If you're listening to the audio or you're watching the video, Bozzy, I don't know how to pronounce his damn name.
Oh shoot!
If you're in NASCAR circles, just type in Bozzy, you'll see his name will come up. There are a lot of pictures
Tadorevich?
of the next gen Tadorevich. Probably Tadorevich.
Revich, yeah, probably Revich.
But it's one C. A lot of fun new aero pieces on the car. This thing's cool, man.
From diddly-umptious, that's what this car looks like.
Agreeable.
Yeah.
Supposedly putting some different diffusers on the car too.
That's what it looks like.
Again, this development of this Garage 56 car is so weird because Hendrick's leading it and their Cup team.
Who was do we know who was testing it?
Jimmy Johnson.
Mike Rockefeller.
Yeah, I was going to say Rockefeller.
Is there conflict of interest with Jimmy racing now again in the Cup Series part-time with running this? There conflict of interest there? I don't know.
Who cares?
I was thinking about this earlier. So you know how Petty GMS is going to start getting their crews from Joe Gibbs Racing?
Mm-hmm.
That's a little weird, isn't it?
A little bit.
Yeah, it is and it isn't though, because
they should go get Trackhouse Racing crews. So they should go get those boys were good.
Yeah, you ain't wrong.
That's how you get screwed. Yeah. We see any other big news dropping here in the next couple weeks? We're still waiting for the Ty Gibbs announcement.
Yeah, I like that they're trying to pretend like that's not going to happen.
Do they have the sponsorship lined up? Because usually I feel like a sponsor would want to get that announced pretty quick here.
Maybe. I mean, it might also. They probably put it on hold because of.
That's very true. So. That is very true.
Yeah.
But, Cole Custer, we think he's. I just realized we didn't even grade Cole Custer. He's just not on my list that I made at the start of the year.
Oh my god, he's not.
C minus.
I think he gets like a D just because his name ain't there. He didn't sign up for the class.
Oh my god.
That's funny.
I'm not even very funny.
Did we miss any? Hang on, now I gotta make sure we didn't miss.
I don't think we missed anyone else.
The
one I can think of.
That is unbelievable.
Because there's 38 there.
Oh my god.
And I only have the one non-chartered car in there.
I can't believe it.
Oh, what about Greg Biffle in the 44? We didn't rate him.
Yeah.
Shut up. Shut up.
Maybe stop getting sand in your fuel system and you'll
Kaz
get graded.
Gralla in the 50. By the way, his Pit Vipers diecast finally shipped. That ran in February.
Did y'all see? I'm a clown on him because I don't care anymore. Did y'all see the NASCAR Authentics Wave 4?
Or the one that got lost at sea?
That was the one that was lost at sea, and it's on the crappy. it's on the crappy PTC mold.
Just leave it out there.
If you look up the Twitter, the Lionel official account said, "Guys, stop complaining. We at least have new diecast. They're not that bad. It's a good mold." And it's like, no, it's not. Like the Chase Elliott Universe, the green on it's the wrong shade. Just look it up. NASCAR Authentics 2022 Wave 4. Just look it up. They look awful.
I'm not going to, but I believe you.
You should. Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right, let's look at some images. Okay.
They do not look good.
Wait, I don't know how to find Wave 4 specifically. Hang
on. If you look up LionelAuthentics.com, that's like their site where they have everything. That won't actually get you like pictures of crappy diecast. Again, folks, you can go to CircleVDiecast.com and get yourself some NASCAR diecast. You can use our code JTN to get discounted on your shipping. We get a kickback on that too, so we really appreciate it when you use that because then that helps me buy diecast for these guys sometimes. And yeah, I guess I haven't bought you a diecast, did I, Matt?
I don't think so.
That was Davey's 1 year present, so I guess I gotta get you a 1 year present. Davey? What do I get you for year 2?
Is bad.
Man, I don't know.
Hopefully,
don't give me nothing.
Hopefully, it doesn't take it like 2 months to get to you again.
That was insane.
That was insane.
Oh my gosh. Man, I'm really happy I stopped collecting 164s.
The only good thing about the NASCAR Authentics is they're half the price of the Gold Series cars, so...
Yeah.
And, I mean, like, you get cool packaging with them, like, I mean, this is pretty cool. You can hang them on the wall. That's what I do. Picked the William Byron one because it was the closest, not because I like it. Although the colors are cool.
Yeah.
Now I'm looking at diecasts. You guys suck.
Yeah. StarkWithDiecast.com. Code JChan checkout.
Yeah, that's where I'm looking.
Yep, not eBay.
Just realized I need to plug my phone in.
Folks, again, cannot thank you enough for watching.
This one fell off the rails at the end, huh?
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, we were rolling, and now we're just like, okay, now what we talk about?
We're like, nah, who cares?
What do we do now?
Podcasting here.
You see, because we're not going to podcast, so now we're not going to talk for like a month and a half. As a group.
Yeah, we'll talk.
I'm gonna go
hey,
disappear into my cave.
I'm gonna try and who the hell cares? Let's end this. We're done. Bye.
Remember, folks, you can follow us at Fake Racers Johto Network. Make sure you like, subscribe, do all those things. You got a great back catalog of podcasts now. If you want to go back and listen to them, I'd appreciate it if you did that. Remember, you follow us.
We had a summer stretch that was really good. Listen to those.
It was. And we kind of had a pretty good stretch here at the end of the year, too, since we came back from that 1 week break. So the last 3 episodes, I feel like, were pretty good. But, again, cannot thank you folks enough for watching, for listening all year. However you support us, we greatly appreciate it. However much or little, it is all support, and it is all very much appreciated. You can follow these guys. We got all their links down in the video description below. I don't know if you guys want to shout any of them out. Usually you don't. So that's cool.
Twitch D7H5 or I want to stream again.
Why don't you stream your perspective of the Cup race Saturday?
Maybe I will. I'm doing more iRacing lately though, so maybe I'll start streaming iRacing races every once in a while. I've been doing a lot of Be Fixed. It's been a lot of fun. Just kidding, it hasn't been fun. I've been wrecked out of almost every race I've driven in since the end of August. But guess what? This past weekend, finally, well, it happened in an R2, but you guys check it out. I finally had a good race this Sunday. I led 19 laps in B Fixed, got a late race caution, blew through my pit stall, restarted like 6th, and finished 3rd.
Hey.
Oh yeah. Joe is laughing in pain.
Yeah.
But hey, it's a lot of fun. But I want to stream more.
But yeah, folks. Again, thanks for watching, listening, doing all you do, and we cannot wait to see you again here on the Fake Racers podcast in 2023, probably. So long for now.
I love you.
Hey, anything else?
I got nothing.
All right, bye, guys.
Bye.